Are there any lifetime planning opportunities to plan for Medicaid? Absolutely. That's a question that we get a lot, and that's actually what we do a lot of at our firm, is helping people plan their affairs in a way that ultimately maximizes what they're going to be able to preserve for their own care and pass along to others. That planning usually takes a couple of different forms. Most frequently, we begin with a Medicaid asset protection plan. And what that plan does is examines all of the different options that an individual has in planning their affairs. Ultimately, the individual and perhaps their advisors, their family members and such, any other decision makers in the family will ultimately choose a path of how they would like to proceed, what best meets their goal, what they're most comfortable with in planning. And then, from there, my firm will usually prepare the necessary documents to implement the Medicaid asset protection plan that's been chosen. But in doing that, the family is assured that they've examined all of the options, not just some of the options, and that they've made a choice that best serves their specific goals, their specific needs, and is customized to their family circumstance. Sometimes the planning for Medicaid is what we call advanced planning, meaning that it takes place far in advance of the actual need of Medicaid. And that's certainly one of our favorite ways to do planning, because you see, in planning in that way, we can protect the maximum amount of assets. Sometimes that planning takes the form of what we call crisis planning, meaning that the planning is taking effect at the time or sometimes even after an individual goes into a nursing home. And in planning in those circumstances, we can still save a lot of the assets. Usually half to 2/3 of the assets can be saved in doing crisis planning. However, some of the assets are almost always lost in crisis planning or spent down in crisis planning because there's simply no other choice.